gaudy numbers.
Reggie was a great leader. Reggie came out there and Reggie played the whole year, all the way out. Even when he was hurt, he played.
Jackson's 41 homers and 111 RBIs in 80 were both his season highs as a Yankee.
I believe Reg was locked in as well as a hitter could be. That made the Yankees the team that they've always been.
It seemed as if the fourth-place Orioles had little chance to catch the Yanks as they trailed.
The Orioles are trying for their second straight victory. Hi again, everybody, and welcome. I'm Boyne Kuiper, and it's another great night for baseball. Partner, are you ready for this one?
I sure am, Kite. This is going to be a great matchup.
The starting pitcher for the home team, Pedro Martinez.
The now scorching Orioles were hoping for a sweep.
This evening's game is against the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. Here's the game's first batter, Miguel Tejada.
Steve Stone's leading 25 wins, which earned him his sixth
Orioles are a team that notoriously has not beaten themselves, so it certainly helped my performance to be with this club.
He delivers.
When the scene shifted to Baltimore 4 days later, the O's crept closer to the sputtering Yanks, taking 3 of 5 at home, further shrinking the deficit to 2.5 games.
When you're a championship team and you go out there knowing what your responsibilities are, somewhere along the line it's all going to kick in.
The Orioles would win 100 games.
We wound up closing that gap to a half game.
That got our attention.
And never got any closer that year.
So when Goose Gossage closed out Detroit for Yankee win number 102, the Yanks were division champs.
This right-handed hitter is not a great average guy, but he's not terrible either.
This guy makes consistent contact as well as anybody. I know that he is capable of hitting somewhere around 400, maybe over 400.
Could George Brett become the first player in nearly 4 decades to hit 400 in a single season?
Here comes the
That was the question consuming baseball throughout the summer of '80.
How about that George Brett? This man has gotten more hits since the All-Star break than a lot of players have hit all season.
Everything he swung at, he hit.
His batting average since the All-Star break, .520.
Here's the man, George Brett.
He was a Superman.
The big story in baseball this week, George Brett.
He continues his quest for 400.
He's now batting 404.
From June on, Brett never dipped below 300. But when he returned from injury after the All-Star break and hit 494 in July, his assault began.
Brett now hit safely in 14 ball games.
My mind was in the game, was very sharp, I was very confident. Obviously, I was doing a lot of things right fundamentally.
He goes with the pitch and hits a fly ball to right. That takes care of the side with a runner
One of
left
the
on
most
first.
consistent with damage done seasons I've seen from an offensive standpoint.
This ball is well hit. It is going, it is gone.
Beginning July 18th, Brett ripped off a 30-game hitting streak, which included 18 multi-hit games. The run lifted him over the 400 mark.
I'd never hit over 333 in my life, and all of a sudden I'm at 400 with 6 weeks to go, so I didn't know what to expect.
There was so much media attention and what ultimately became pressure for him from the media.
With 2 weeks to go in the season, and I'm still over 400. I did the one thing that I shouldn't have done. I went out and tried to hit 400.
Despite the fact that Brett fell short in his quest to be the first since Ted Williams to eclipse 400, he was still the talk of the league.
The fact that you can go through a full season, flirt with 400, and get there for a while, only to slip back to 390, he deserved to be the MVP that year.
The best player on a team that won its division by a whopping 14 games. In the NL East, the world champion Pirates played the entire season wearing a bullseye on their back.
I'm glad they're the champions of the world because they're in the Eastern Division of the National League, and that makes what I think is the best division in baseball.
When you go against the Pirates or the Phillies, the teams that you're contending with for the division title, you have to play them even up, if not better.
But if we're there in the end, you're going to have to take it from us because it's ours right now.
Prophetic comments indeed, as proven by September 1st standings. Unfortunately for the aging Pirates, a 10-17 September knocked them from contention.
We just couldn't finish the deal. Our tanks were empty on September 1st.
As late as September 16th, the Expos were in first place by 2.5 games. The question was, were the fighting Phils capable of fighting back?
The 80 team really didn't love each other. The hitters didn't like the pitchers. The hitters, so it was kind of a hating place in the clubhouse. Dallas Green had a very firm hand. had a lot of ups and downs in August. Dallas got the riot act a few times.
We're still only got one hit, man. Let's go.
I was irate because the guys really never bought into the fact that they had the talent, but they were talking the talk and they just weren't walking the walk. I was convinced that unless something drastic happened, we were going to go back into the doldrums again. I wasn't about to let that happen.
The fact that with a week to go in the season, Dallas Green could bench Greg Luzinski, Bob Boone, and Gary Maddox was incredible. He was going to do whatever he felt he needed to do to win.
Case in point was September call-up Marty Bystrom. Green started him 5 times and was rewarded as the rookie went 5-0 with a 1.50 ERA.
He brought that to the table in September, and we would not have won without Marty Bystrom pitching the way he pitched.
The same could be said about Mike Schmidt. In August and September, he belted 17 homers, raising his total to 44, and fulfilling the expectations that Pete Rose had for him.
He started talking about me as the greatest player he ever played against and with. Because he knew that made me feel like Superman. And the more he could make me feel like Superman, the better player I'd become, and obviously the better team would become.
As predicted all along, the NL East did come down to October.
Expo number 1!
A deciding series between the deadlocked Phillies and Expos, winner take all.
We felt like we had it where we needed it, that it was in our hands and it was in our park.
The feeling that you have, it's almost like it's the World Series. You know that if you beat them 2 out of 3 games, you go on.
For me, it was sort of a defining series in terms of playing under pressure and coming through.
There's strike 2.
We went to Montreal to have to win these 2 games, and I went 6 for 11. Won the first game with a home run, won the second game with a home run.
Long drive to left field. He buried it. Out of here. Home run. Mike Schmidt puts the Phillies up 6-4.
There's more than just
to win that game the way they won that game.
This is it. The Phillies have won the title. They came from behind twice in this ball game, and the Phillies are the East Division champions for 1980.
The National League West saw the Astros and Dodgers battle into October.
This has been such a tight one this year, down to the wire where every game is a must-win situation.
The Astros held a 3-game lead on the Dodgers, with the final 3 games of the year slated for Dodger Stadium.
We knew it was going to be tough for us in LA, but we didn't think that we could lose.
Despite the odds, the playoff-tested Dodgers felt up to the task.
Number 1, we thought we were better than them in the first place. And number 2, we had heard they had champagne on ice. We think they got this one already.
And with Ken Forsch vying for a complete game 2-1 win, the Astros just about did.
The Astros are 2 outs away from the National League West Championship. Ken Forsch trying to finish them off.
It's got to be a very key factor in today's game. He can really produce runs first team and everyone they can get today.
1 out later, in a do-or-die situation, Ron Son did.
Ground ball through into center field, and we have a tie game.
Which opened the door for Joe Ferguson's 10th inning heroics.
Once that game turned LA's way, the momentum really started to build for the Dodgers, and it had the sense that these guys are not going to top up a game.
LA now had the momentum as they would sweep the 3-game series.
We actually had the lead in all 3 games, and it was kind of devastating. We had to play an extra game. Game 163.
The 5th National League playoff ever did nothing to rattle the sliding Astros.
Nuxie was our pitcher. We all felt great with Nuxie. He was going for number 20 that day.
And for the 2nd straight year, he got it, as Nico closed out the Dodgers with a 7-1 complete game win.
Bouncing ball to the right side. Orban has it, sets on first, and the Astros have won the National League West. The exultant Astros going on to Philadelphia.
Somehow, the tension of the 1-game playoff would simply serve as a prelude to the drama that would unfold in the National League Championship Series.
The greatest confrontation in my life of watching sports was the 1980 League Championship Series between the Phillies and Houston.
Here comes Len to score. The throw way off the mark.
The best LCS of all time.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. One run, extra innings, back and forth.
4 straight extra inning games with that pressure.
In this crazy game, the never give up Houston Astros come back. And look at this crowd.
That whole series was exhausting. It was emotionally and physically exhausting just to watch it.
Very full, so consistent throughout this series.
It was a knockdown, drag-out series.
They'll go to the stretcher, and that will be all for Cedeno.
A battle of wills. Who wanted it the most?
The series began innocently enough, as Houston earned a split in Philly, winning Game 2 in extra innings.
Coming home 1-1, and we felt like we were in the driver's seat.
Joe Niekro's 10 scoreless innings in Game 3 paved the way for an Astros 1-0 11-inning win.
It looks like the skipper just
But
wanted to talk
Houston's
about that
euphoria
last
was
call.
fleeting when Game 4 swung Philly's way. In the 10th, Charlie Hustle, living up to his nickname, was hell-bent on breaking a 3-all tie.
Here comes Rose around third. It'll take a perfect play.
And it's 0-1.
Gets away from Bucci. Rose scored.
If the series wasn't tight enough, decisive Game 5 would be a real nail-biter.
Great pitch in the black.
You see things sometimes that really can't happen, and then they happen. The way that game ended was one of those things.
Let's see if there's any comeback now left in the Phils. They have to do it against one of the great pitches.
Down 5-2 in the 8th inning with Nolan Ryan on the mound. You're not supposed to win that game.
Bottom of the order, Boone, and Gross.
Pete Rose was right there next to me and said, if you get on, we're going to win this game today. And it happened so fast.
That's a little looper, and it's past Reynolds, and Bo is on.
Bob Boone hit a ball back at Ryan. It would have been a double play ball.
Off the pitcher's glove. There'll be no play.
Greg Gross bunted the first pitch.
The bunt down the third base line.
And before you even turned around, we had the bases loaded and nobody out.
We have seen everything in this series.
That's a liner to left field.
They rallied a little bit with him, and I thought he got a little bit tired, and I ended up taking him out. That didn't work either.
This righty would like to add a couple of points to his
By now, in this classic, everyone expected an Astros answer. It came in their next at-bat.
He puts it away in foul territory. Next at the plate, Willie Bloomquist.
As complex as the series was, it came down to Gary Maddox's 10th inning, 2-out, simplified approach to hitting.
I had a reputation as a first ball hitter, so it was easy. Pitch came, his first pitch, I always swing at it, and I ended up hitting the line drive.
And here's the pitch. And on 3 pitches, he's gone.
And when Maddox squeezed the final out of this scintillating series, one thing became quite clear in Philadelphia.
After 2.5, the game is scoreless.
Phillies, they are the 1980 Phillies.
The ALCS mirrored its National League counterpart, as one of its participants was haunted by the recent playoff failures they'd endured.
Having lost to them in 76, 77, and 78. 3 great playoff series. Had we lost to them in 80 as well, yeah, there would have been a lot more what-ifs.
And I'm not really sure either the Royals or their fans know that they can beat the Yankees.
It was frustrating losing to the Yankees in 77. I thought our team was equivalent, if not better. And really, when we got to 1980, if nothing else, the odds were in our favor that we can win 1 out of 4.
It was a huge barrier to be broken by the Kansas City Royals and the organization. We needed to go outplay the New York Yankees. We needed to do their part as well as ours. And I knew in 1980 we were ready.
If the NLCS was defined by intensity, the ALCS was rooted in animosity.
Everybody had a rival, and Kansas City was ours at that time.
Didn't find the plate for a ball. And Nettles kicked him, and that's when the fight started.
I hate the Yankees. I still hate them. Then you know what? They still hate me.
But Royals fans adored George, and Rhett gave them renewed hope in Game 1 with a familiar playoff occurrence.
He misses the strike zone with a 98-mile-an-hour heater.
A Game 1 rout, coupled with Game 2's 3-2 win, earned royal reviews. But back in the Bronx, edginess prevailed.
I really thought going back to Yankee Stadium, if we didn't win that game, it would really be tough to beat them.
Trailing 2-1 in the seventh, Brett came to bat with 2 men on to face Yankee relief ace. He's Gus.
Oh, here's the game on the line right now.
I knew he was going to be throwing the ball 95 to 100 miles an hour. I just told myself, be quick, try to pull the ball. If you get it in the air, it's a bonus.
The noise of that bat meeting that ball was the loudest I've ever heard contact with a ball and bat in my whole life.
And not only did I get it in the air, it was one of the farthest home runs I ever hit in my life.
It's hit to the left side. Into the third tier of Yankee Stadium, and Brett has taken the Royals and put them in front 4-2. And a stunned crowd here at Yankee Stadium.
You could have heard a pin drop, and it's such a neat feeling to know that you were finally going to be in a World Series.
Quisenberry, 3-2 pitch. That's it. The Royals go to the World Series.
That's the only time I've ever cried in baseball.
We finally beat the Yankees, and that was a big relief for us.
Nobody picked us to win our division. Nobody picked us to beat the Yankees. We surprised everybody again.
Right at the knees for a strike.
What a year.
That made up for a lot of the pain, I think, from 76, 7, and 8.
Oh, man.
That one was smashed.
The biggest thrill coming into that series was finally making it to the World Series.
This actually is bigger for us, I think, than the Brazilian. Going into that World Series, we knew we had to win. But we also knew that the history of the Phillies was, you can't win the big one.
This town has been waiting for it a long time.
Predictors had predicted us to win the World Series in 6 games. And I feel like we had the best team man for man.
Fastball for
That advantage seemed evident in Game 1 as the rested Royals started 20-game winner Dennis Leonard, while Phillies best Steve Carlton was being rested due to his LCS stint in Game 4.
They asked the third base umpire to
delivers,
swung.
and a breaking ball is whacked to left field. Lonnie Smith going back to the warning track, and it is gone.
It wasn't Steve Carlton on the mound, it was Bob Walk. And I remember all the home runs flying out there, and I was going, when's this going to stop?
1 ball and 2 strikes to Aiken. The grade is not so, and Aiken hits a high fly ball into right center field. Go way back, it's gone. 4-0 Royals.
After
But
3,
while the
the
lead
score is
seemed
1-0.
daunting to their scarred fan base, these Phillies had a newfound confidence
for the
born during their
3-45
dramatic NLCS.
We were a good come-from-behind team. We knew get a couple guys on.
2-2 pitch is hit up the middle, and that'll be a base hit for Larry Boa.
Steal a base.
There goes Boa. The pitch is a strike. The throw down. He's stolen it. And that wakes up the crowd a little bit here in Philadelphia.
Pop the ball out of the ballpark, and we could catch him.
Luzinski proved prophetic as the Phillies scored 2 runs and had 2 aboard.
He puts it away.
The potential tying runs are on for Bate McBride, who's batting cleanup despite having hit only 9 home runs the entire season. Deep and gone.
Every game's a big game, especially when you open a series at home.
McBride's 3-run homer puts the finishing touches on a 5-run third, and the Phillies have catapulted into the lead.
The Phils extended the lead to 3 before Tug McGraw sealed a narrow victory.
2 out in the 9th inning. Philadelphia 7, Kansas City 6, and Tug McGraw working on Willie Wilson. Fastball got it
In right field.
And as they put up on the message board, the first World Series victory
coming up
since
next.
1915.
Going into the bottom of the 4th, the
Game 2
Orioles
will
trail by
always be
1.
remembered for George Brett's most unusual ailment.
His condition, well, he has a blockage of blood vessels, forcing a protrusion of tissue from the rectum. In layman's language, he has hemorrhoids.
Brett would still go 2 for 2 in an abbreviated stint, but for his team, the true burr and mare saddle would be the never-say-die Phillies, who trailed 4-2 in the 8th.
Quisenberry trying to nail it down for Kansas City.
Quiz had been money closing all year long, so we were confident we'd win.
Left center field, a base hit. Bob Boone digging hard. It'll be
Strike 3, and he's gone.
high chopper, base hit. So we're all tied up.
With the history of Dan Quisenberry and what he had done, you keep thinking he's going to get out of this. He's going to get ground ball, he's going to get double play, whatever. But it just didn't happen.
The game is tied 4-4, but the Phillies aren't done yet with their big gun Mike Smith at bat.
Sometimes you try to make a hitter change your pitch. It's exactly what you saw right there.
That's going to be off the wall. Big stride, digging hard.
This guy really likes the ball up in zone.
Schmidt's double put the Phils up to stay, with their 6-4 win continuing a late-game trend.
Down he goes on
It's a great feeling to have when you're down in a ball game to feel like 5 games in a row you've overcome the lead. It's a real feeling of confidence.
While hosting their first ever World Series game was fun, narrowing the Philly lead was of greater importance. Willie Mays Aikens had even more incentive.
My mom was up in the stands. It was the first time in my whole life that my mom had a chance to see me play.
Not only did her son respond with the first triple of his career, but in extra innings, he gave Mom a memory she'd never forget.
Straight balls for 2 outs. Wilson. Be sure to credit him. He was patient, worked the pitcher, and ended up with a free pass.
Single-handedly put us back into the World Series, one game down now, a dramatic walk-off. I mean, that's the thing kids dream about.
If Aikens' Game 3 was a dream, then his Game 4 was definitely a recurring nightmare for Philly hurlers, beginning in the first.
Balls in 1 strike.
Then in the second, an Aikens encore.
I didn't like to watch home runs when they hit them off me, but they hit this one so far, I turned around and admired it.
Hitting like Willie Mays, Aikens' second homer of the day made the score 5-1 and helped the Royals even the series at 2 games apiece. KC fans flocked to 1980's final home game at Royals Stadium. Game 5 of that deadlock World Series.
We feel this is an important ball game, but we also feel that even if we lose, we're still going to win it because we got the best ball player.
18-game winner Larry Gura's resume figured to trump that of Philly's September call-up Marty Bystrom. Surprisingly, though, experience flinched first.
1 out, no score, we're in the 4th. Well hit, center field. Otis is going back near the warning track. It is a home run. 2-0 Phillies. A little quiet here at Royal Stadium as Mike Schmidt hits his 2nd home run of this series.
In a role reversal, it would now be the Royals trying to play catch-up. They got one in the 5th and looked for more with the red-hot Amos Otis up in the 6th.
Out of the zone, that's a ball. He swiped 1 base.
The Royals would add on the go-ahead run later in the inning, and when Quiz came on to get the last 8 outs for the save, KC seemed destined for a home sweep.
Dan Quisenberry walked out in the 9th inning to that mound, and the Kansas City Royals were going to win because Dan Quisenberry never threw a save.
That's maybe what the traumatized faithful felt, but these Phillies had come too far and were too close to winning their first ever title. And they would show their resilience once again.
Hot smash, Brett knocks it down. It's a base hit for Mike Schmidt. Tying run is on. Nobody out. Del Unser is the pinch hitter.
I can still see that ball that Del Unser hit.
1 strike pitch. Hot smash, pass Aikens.
Popping into right field.
Schmidt can run. He's running hard. They're going to try to score him. Here comes the throw. They'll not get him with time.
And the way everything changed.
And the inning is over. Going into the bottom of the 5th.
Once the Phillies won that, they were going home. And they were going to hand the ball to Steve Carlton. And Steve Carlton was not going to let them lose the World Series.
I don't think I've ever gone into an important game feeling that the Phillies were going to win, but I had this feeling in that 6th game.
What I remember was it was our time. We were back in Philadelphia. The fans wanted it, we wanted it, and Steve Carlton wanted it.
Carlton was superb, allowing 4 hits and 1 run over 7 innings.
1 ball, 2 strikes. DeRosa throws to the crowd. Look on the hard slider. Number 7.
It was also time for the Phillies' offensive leader to coronate his superb season when he had the chance to break the scoreless tie in the 3rd.
Base hit, right field. Here comes 1 run in. Schmidt is going to score.
Trailing 4-1 in the top of the 9th, the Royals loaded the bases against Tug McMillan.
We had used Tug until he had There he was in that situation.
I had all the faith in the world in Tug. I knew something good was going to happen. He had that type of personality where special things always happen.
It's popped up. Boom. Rose. And have a play. Rose got there. Rose caught it.
Woo! The baseball gods were looking after me there. Yes, sir, we bought it.
Rose was right there. It popped out of his glove, and Rose made the play.
At that point, you figure, well, things are really going your way.
Exactly. For the first time in 97 seasons, things went the way of the Phillies.
At 11:29 p.m., October 21st, 1980, the ghosts of Phillies past finally laid the rest.
And because of that, the celebration was unforgettable.
Why did this Philly team win it when others did not?
They had heart, and I use the term character. Character is a hard thing to explain unless you've been through what we've been through in September in the playoffs and in the World Series. We're world champions. There's a lot of people in baseball didn't think we could be.
3 years later, the Phillies returned to the World Series, but it would be another quarter of a century before Philadelphia could celebrate another title.
Phillies are world champions.
Royals fans had only to wait 5 years for World Series glory, beating the 1985 Cardinals in 7 games.
The Kansas City Royals are the 1985 world champions.
The iconic closers who anchored their respective teams in 1980 continued to amaze and entertain. Tragically, Tug McGraw and Dan Quisenberry both succumbed to brain cancer, Quiz at the age of 45 in 1998, and Tug 6 years later at the age of 59. Mike Schmidt would become a 3-time MVP, and George Brett the only player ever to win batting titles in 3 different decades. Fittingly, both were first-ballot Hall of Famers.
There's truly the finishing touch on what was an extremely rewarding career.
The infielders have to be thinking, ground ball to the left side, look the runner back on to first. Ground ball to the right side, just go to first.
They check down at first. Swung early at that one. It's hit out to left. Makes the catch to record the out. Stepping in, 1 for 2, Jason Varitek. Out of the zone, that's a ball.
That runner on second is going to be going on anything hit on the ground to the right side. In that situation, the fielders need to get the shirt out at first. If I'm the hitting coach, I'm telling my guys to take a pitch and don't swing until the pitcher starts throwing strikes.
Runners on first and second with the walk.
Hey, that wasn't a bad display by the pitcher. You've got to credit the batter for showing a lot of patience and working the walk.
Up next, Manny Ramirez.
This guy loves to whack balls up high.
One ball, one strike.
They've set that defense at double play depth. If you can get a ground ball right here, they might get 2.
They check with the first base umpire.
No.
2 balls and 1 strike. A ball. That's the pitcher's 7th walk of the game.
Guy looks to me like he pitched around. The unintentional, intentional walk. We'll be seeing the batter rounding third hard when it hit the left field. He does not have a strong arm out.
Dirksen takes below the knees.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
He swiped 47 bases. 3 balls, 1 strike. The count runs full. Tough one for the right fielder. And the run comes home. A 2 RBI single.
Hey, good sinkers are tough to hit. That is a good piece of hit.
A pitching change will be made. They're calling for a reliever. Up next with one single already, Mike Lowe. Takes the first pitch high.
Hey, partner, if the pitcher can keep the ball low in the zone, he might be able to induce a ground ball to start, too.
The 1981 baseball season began.
Takes a tailing fastball.
With a feeling of rejuvenation permeating spring training.
Fun to put the uniform back on and get
Three-2.
The Phillies were coming off a long-awaited first ever World Series title.
He's going back at the track, the wall, over the wall for a homer.
That batter just picked up 3 RBIs on one swing. Talk about efficiency. Great job.
Including the LA Dodgers, even if the Phillies' strain of their potential wasn't apparent at the outset.
The Dodgers have no throwback Drysdale combination, but Fields needs to handle that well.
At bat with a single with Yao Cabrera.
The Brewers have also bolstered their bullpen in a blockbuster deal with the Cardinals that netted them a trio of key additions.
Big deal that brought Fingers, Vukovic, and Ted Simmons to town really ignited a true pennant-type fever.
I was more than happy to go to Milwaukee at the time. They had a great team. You know, Robin Yao, Paul Molitor, Roland Thomas, Cooper, Oldley.
We were getting closer and closer to winning a division, and I know
pulled
the
the bat
81
back in
season
time.
we entered that season.
Pitcher looks a little annoyed with that call, Kyle. He sure thought the batter went around, and I agree.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Hey, the pitcher wins the battle. Sweet pitch to get
to make a massive addition of their own in the offseason.
I remember going to New York City, and we entertained and had discussions with all the teams. Houston and Mets.
Started to swing at that pitch, but he held up in
I
time.
was walking down the street, and he saw me. His eyes got so big, he forgot what
Fastball low.
right into one of the signs. Bam! He hit the sign, and after he recovered, he said,
Strike with a fastball.
Doesn't matter which team you play for, Yankees or Mets. Come to New York. We love you.
That will fall in for a base hit.
Made it an unprecedented
He's on
offer he
first
couldn't
with a
refuse.
base hit.
But that
He's got a good pitch to hit right there, and he put it in the outfield for a single.
You'd be hard-pressed to find many left-handed batters who outperform this guy when it comes to hitting left-handed.
An issue of compensation for lost free
That's
agents.
98-mile-an-hour heat taken for a ball. He swiped 7 bases.
Will there be a strike or
Pitch misses for a ball.
That was a purpose pitch. Change up off the plate, hoping the batter would go chasing.
3-1, a hitter's pitch.
I hope there can be something resolved out of the situation with the compensation.
The count is full.
With that fastball where the catcher called for it, the batter was overmatched. Lights out scene.
For their fiery skipper.
He's off to second.
There was a buzz in Oakland. Everybody was talking Billy Ball.
Right now, it's all called Billy Ball.
Led by leadoff man Ricky Henderson, who swiped an AL record 100 bases in 1980. The Yankees generated runs through aggressive base running and a powerful lineup.
Not only did we hit home runs, we stole bases. We stole home.
Murphy down the line at third. He might go. He is going.
That's the final out, inning over.
And Murphy is stolen home.
We're just creating runs. 4
With 4 innings left, the score is 9-0.
Starters deep into games, leading to complete game totals almost unheard of for the era.
He never did anticipate coming to take us out of ball games. When he would come to the mound, it was just to give us a breather.
Swinging strike.
You knew that when he
swiped one base.
At the beginning of the game, you're going to be around to either win that yourself or lose it yourself.
All the unconventional strategy led to a record start.
There's a strike swinging.
At the start of the season, we had won 11 games. We broke a record, so it was very exciting.
Hit towards second base.
Back in the AL East, the arrival
What
of
a
the
way.
superstar in the difference only solidified
Next
the
at the
Yankees'
plate,
lofty
Miguel
goal
Tejada.
to get back to the World Series after a 2-year absence.
Veterans who really knew how to play. Right now, Reggie, Gossage.
He makes the grab in foul ground. Stepping in 1 for 2, Willie Bloomquist.
Winfield and the Yanks would stay close to first
Yank
base
to the
over
left
first
side.
month, though other clubs like the Orioles
1, 2, 3, and the inning is over.
We had a pretty good ball club in 1981 under Earl Weaver. He was emphasized mostly.
Going into the bottom of the 6th, the score is 9-0. The 7, 8, 9 hitters will be coming up.
Kaipi has nothing on the ball.
But over in Leno, the headlines focused on a phenomenon like no other.
Jackson hits one to deep left. The catch is made.
Kaipi didn't get all that ball. The fielder strolled over, got under it, made an easy play.
Next up, Jason Varitek.
The Dodgers came into the 81 season with a very clear goal.
Considering what took place last year, it generates
And it's
more
0-2.
in anticipation of playing in another World Series, and I think that's what our main goal is. Every year when we win in the season, all things being equal, we felt
Takes a pitch high.
And there was ample evidence for that conviction.
Here it comes.
NL pennant winners in 77 and 79.
Down he goes on strike.
Featured a veteran.
Partner, he gets ahead of him and never looks back. Sweet strikeout.
Ramirez steps in at the plate.
Russell, Rhodes,
Pitch taken for a ball.
They still had Dusty Baker. They still had Tommy Lasorda. They had a really good team, but they had
a ball.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Rookie from Mexico, who found himself unexpectedly on the mound opening day.
Había lesiones en otros jugadores que iban a iniciar la temporada.
The 2-1 pitch.
Un día antes que se podía lanzar.
3-1 count.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Fernando, the young rookie, and did he pitch a good game?
Full count here. That's 3 strikeouts. With 3 innings remaining, Baltimore trails by 9. The meat of the order is coming up. It's 3, 4, and 5.
Struck him out, it's all over, and Valenzuela did it again. He has this very
Sends it foul.
style, the high leg kick, the eyes rolled back up toward the sky. There's something about him that people relate to, and he captivated the entire country.
That one just missed.
Fernando Mania.
It was unbelievable. Every time he pitched, it was a huge, huge event.
There's an out.
Martinez really made a nice throw right there. That's a job well done.
Fernando Mania quickly went national, but it also served as a catalyst for the Dodgers, who won 26 of their first 35 games to jump out to a commanding lead in their division. And that left other quality teams like the Millionaire Cincinnati Reds to play catch-up in the NL West.
You still had some remnants of the Big Red Machine.
Just a bit inside. 1 and 2.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
2 and 2. He's hitting .266 with 25 long balls and 82 runs batted in. He comes up a little bit short.
And as the offense produced plenty of runs,
he's on with a single.
He was sensational. I mean, it was automatic. When you went to the mound, and he really conjured up memories of a young Tom.
Casey takes his turn at bat.
Although Seaver was enjoying a renaissance in
the pitch. On the ground.
The Reds fell back in May. and still had a ways to go to catch the Dodgers.
He's on first with a base hit.
The key to that play was the runner moving in scoring position.
The 81 season an eagle bunch. After losing the division in the final week of the season in both 71.
Liner right at the second baseman.
We knew we had that behind us, and we had high expectations. We were
out on the tag.
Fairly young.
He'll try that same play on the next ball that's hit to him, and he'll probably make it too.
Picked us on paper to go all the way.
And with one of baseball's best catchers in Gary Carter.
A home run for Gary Carter.
And an emerging star in outfielder Andre Dawson.
And here's the delivery.
The team
Miss Lowe.
Firepower. But it was a rookie left fielder who brazenly stole a show in Montreal.
Tim Raines
2 balls, no strikes.
Catalyst for that team early on in '81.
It'll be a straight steal for Raines.
We needed a stolen base. Nobody stopped him.
While Raines took off on a pace of more than a stolen base a game, his team still had to reckon with the reigning world.
The pitch is hit to center field.
We know everybody's going to be gunning for us, but at the same time,
that'll do it for the Orioles in the 7th. All right, everybody, up on their feet. Time for the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah, I could use a bit of a break.
Led by superstar third baseman Mike Schmidt, most of the World Series roster was back. And they weren't ready to relinquish their throne.
Dirksen digs in at the plate.
It was the surprising
this guy right here can hit the ball a long way. You really don't want to make a mistake to him or get ready for the hit parade.
Swings and misses for a strike.
We go into town, we play ball, but they know that we're going to take the extra bases and be playing an aggressive style of ball.
And on 3 pitches, he's gone.
He did not have a chance. Hack, miss, see ya.
0-1 the count.
Joining Cardinals mainstays George Hendrick and Keith Hernandez.
Hit deep to center. Deep drive to center, and he won't catch this one.
It keeps O'Leary's in first place for most of May.
2-base hit.
Batters at this level will turn misexecuted pitches into hits all the time.
Cabrera strolls to the plate.
26 outs later, he was on the verge.
1 ball and no strikes.
The infielders have to be thinking, ground ball to the left side, look the runner back on to first. Ground ball to the right side, just go to first.
1-1 pitch. Hit to right field. He's got it for the out.
Also helped the Indians maintain a slim lead in the tightly packed AL East. But as June
pitch taken for a ball.
To move from 4th to 1st in the division.
That's it. Yankees have
Benson lays off low for a ball.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
But as the division races were taking shape, a bleak reality was looming. That time had just about run out to settle the labor discord between owners and players.
The home plate ump asked for help at first.
They reached the deadline without an agreement. Nobody knew whether the season would resume or if that was the end of the season, and the players walked out.
I don't think it'll hit me until a few days from now. Like I said, I've never had a summer without baseball.
As the players pack their gear and
ball missing high with the slider. He delivers. That's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike.
He had created a new order in the game and a new set of vexing issues.
The strike was all about...
That'll do it for the Red Sox, and there's 2 innings remaining.
The free agents that the teams lost. They felt that any player at all could be made available if a team lost.
With 2 innings left, Baltimore trails by 9.
Didn't want that.
I was a player rep at the time and had a fairly close relationship with Bowie Kuhn, who was the commissioner. And I had told him when the strike started, I said, Bowie, the players are not going to give in. You might as well appeal to the owners and let's get this thing settled for the good of the fans. And, of course, that fell on deaf ears.
Like a good pitch, but called a ball.
Ken Moffitt was brought in to try and bring the 2 sides together. But a month into the strike, there was no dealings.
The owners committee, they advised us through the mediator that unless we, the Players Association...
That's in foul ground, but he should have room.
they did not
In
care to
foul
meet.
territory, makes the
For
catch.
51 days, wow. And I remember just trying to, doing my part as a player rep, holding guys together, keeping them together.
And then, finally, a deal was reached. The Central Compromise. Teams that lost top free agents could
He sends a dribbler to first base.
Of unprotected players across the league. Still, some couldn't help but notice the timing at the end of the strike.
Ironically, the owners had 51 days.
And on 3 pitches, he's gone.
The strike ended. So it was something that never should have happened, and because of that, the season was split.
And then, baseball officials had to figure out how to
Stepping in, Miguel Tejada.
You have the option, and it's an interesting option, to decide to play a split season. The second half would begin
2 outs and nobody on.
We'd start out at 0-0 on the record.
No swing. He swiped 4 bases.
Special tier playoffs. So the champion of the first half of the season would play the champion of the second half, and that's
foul ball off the batter.
Championship in the World Series. It's an interesting idea, and we're going to take a good hard look at it.
Soon it became official.
Martinez with the 1-1 delivery.
The Yankees, Phillies,
The
A's,
count's
and
2-1.
were in the playoffs. And now the season would start from scratch. And those first half winners would play whoever won the second.
He hits it weakly to the second baseman.
As far as the split season
And he chases it down.
That was not an easy catch at all, big boy. Great defense.
I felt like it was probably the best solution to what was a real problem.
And anything seems that fans would be slow to re-embrace the game after the strike would dispel when the season resumed on August 9th with the All-Star game in Cleveland.
That was high and deep, going, Mahomes, dials long distance.
A great pitch upstairs. That was still able to hit it.
But in the eighth, Mike Schmidt also showed the layoff hadn't impacted his power. Schmidt's blast was the difference as the NL won their 10th straight All-Star game. Regular play resumed that week, and history was quickly made as Schmidt's teammate Pete Rose passed Stan Musial to become the NL's all-time hit leader.
This guy right here feasts on pitches up in the zone.
He delivers. They appeal to first on the check swing.
There was no question.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
There were some imperfections to the split season of
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sometimes you try to make a hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Was determined to make the best of it.
3-2 count.
Picked up the schedule after the strike ended. The Cardinals had like 32 of the last 54 games were away from home. So they had
Jackson hits this one to left.
We just felt, we needed to go out there and get off to a good start.
He makes the play.
Curveball and a ground ball to the right side.
The next batter is Jason Varitek.
Like the Cardinals, the Brewers had
Pitch
narrowly
taken
missed
for a
the
ball.
division in the first half, and were looking to make a push in the second.
When they decided to divide it into 2 halves,
Taken for a ball.
as we were to winning the first half, we knew we had a chance to win the second half.
The Brewers were a certifiable offensive force throughout the summer, scoring the second most runs in the AL in the second half.
They are one of the hardest hitting contingents in all of Major League Baseball.
No swing.
I would have hated to have to face all of that in 1981. As far as being a relief pitcher, I could go out and make a mistake once in a while and maybe give
Payoff
up a
pitch
couple
coming.
And with fingers 0.72 second half ERA, late inning Brewer leads almost always became wins.
Got him.
Years here with us, a lot of ball games in the 7th on. Roller Fingers has given us the confidence that we can fight for 7 innings and come out a winner.
Ultimately, Fingers was the difference for the Brewers, saving 16 of the team's
Up next, Manny Ramirez. He delivers. 1-1 count.
West, the Royals had started the first half of the year terribly at 9-22. but with fresh optimism when the season
hit towards second base.
Defending AL champs replaced manager Jim Fry in late August.
And the side is retired. With 1 inning left to play, the score is 10-0. This game is brought to you by EA Sports. EA Sports, it's in the game.
This is it. They're going to have to create some offense in a hurry.
No panic type attitude. A guy who really felt like, regardless of what the circumstances were, that we could overcome it. And I think that when you show that kind of confidence, players respond to that.
Sure enough, the Royals got hot, winning 6 of their last 8 to seize first.
That one splits the outfielder.
AL West divisional playoff with first half champ Oakland.
He reaches with a single.
Cap, I've seen this guy make these kinds of plays before. This time, though, a little short.
Best record in the first half. But the split season meant fresh slates for every team, including the Astros.
For whatever reason, we just couldn't get things rolling in the first half. And I guess it was a blessing that we went on strike because it was a split season. We got things together the second half.
A big part of Houston's second half success was its pitching, a rotation with the lowest ERA and 3rd most strikeouts in the National League.
When you have a rotation of that magnitude, it gives you an opportunity to have prolonged losing streaks. And we weren't a ball club that scored a lot.
They're making a substitution.
Our strength was our starting pitching.
And their strong-arm ace was Nolan Ryan, whose career
Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. He sends it over towards first.
The September no-hitter was remarkably the 5th of his career.
He's on first with a base hit.
Good play to move that runner into scoring position.
Good luck to the rest of it. It's an important game, not only for the no-hitter today, what it means to your ball club. And I think you never lost sight of that.
2 on and no outs.
That game came in the midst
and a breaking ball down low.
The Reds for the NL West. The teams were separated by just a half game in the season's final week. But in the end, Cincinnati would be the hard-luck loser.
There's a close pitch called the ball.
They lost 3 out of their last 4, finished a game and a half behind. And despite having the best overall record in baseball, they stayed home. Their 66-42 record was for naught.
The organization was adamant that this was not right, and it was really unprecedented.
Fastball
in
inside.
baseball history. Before the last game was played, they had the whole team walk a banner onto the field. The banner simply said Cincinnati Reds baseball's best
now
record.
3 and 2. He swiped 1 base.
The Cardinals could boast of their division's best overall record, but not winning either half of their season ended without a playoff berth.
A free pass fills the bases.
Oh, Parker, that's a terrible time to be walking hitters.
At bat with a single, Sean Casey.
We won our division. Cincinnati won their division, and neither one of us got in the playoffs.
Action in the bullpen. The manager's out to buy some time.
I don't know, Kyle. I think he may be thinking of the mound too much after that visit.
Second half champs in a best-of-5 series to advance to the LCS.
The Red Sox bring in a new pitcher. Here comes a new pitcher.
The Expos march to the playoffs got a boost in early September when team executive Jim Fanning replaced Dick Williams as skipper.
Dick Williams fly ball should be good enough to score that runner on third base.
Baseball manager of the game that I've ever been around. I was only around him probably for a year and a half. But I think what Jim
swinging
did when
strike
he took
on the
over
changeup
for us,
away.
That changeup went right through the strike zone. The batter just couldn't touch it.
Played every night to win a baseball game.
Under Fanning, the Expos win
just missed.
Sometimes you try to make a hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Appearance in franchise history.
Ground ball hit to short. Got him at the plate. He's there, safe at first.
1979, we lost out to the Pirates by 2 games, and in 1980, we lost out to the Phillies by 1 game.
And now the Expos were presented with an opportunity for vengeance against the Phillies in their opening playoff series.
We're just about set to go here at Olympic Stadium. The Expos against the Philadelphia Phillies.
There was a hatred between the
Out
Phillies
of the zone, that's a ball.
Here's a great opportunity for a cheap run to sack fly. All he's got to do is lift it to medium deep outfield.
What place they were in, what place we were in.
The Expos certainly started the division series tough, winning the first 2 games at home.
Pulls one on the line. And a run scores. That's an RBI single.
The Expos have beaten the Philadelphia Phillies.
But back in Philly, the defending champs would not go down easily.
What a grab by Smith. Oh, what a play by Smith. A double
And after winning Game 3, the Phillies tied the series in dramatic fashion in Game 4.
Hit towards first base. Got him. The Orioles are down to their last out. The Boston Red Sox win it by 9.
The first two, you got to feel like you turned the tide a little bit. It wasn't to be. They went on and beat us.
The Expos won Game 5 3-0, making them the split-season NL East champions. And now they will chase a pennant for the first time. The NL Division Series out west featured a matchup of division rivals, the Astros and the Dodgers, who shared the same strength.
The Astros had good pitching and played great defense, and I think we matched them with the Dodgers with the same type of look.
And Game 1 unfolded predictably as a pitcher's duel between aces young and old.
This is quite a matchup. The kid, Fernando, against the veteran flamethrower.
This is strike 3. Swinging on this. Struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Ryan. 5 strikeouts for Valenzuela.
Each starter was brilliant, yielding just 1 run apiece. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Lasorda went to his bullpen.
Ashby looked a long fly ball to right field. That's a home run. It's all over. The Astros win it. 3-1.
The trend of stellar pitching continued in Game 2, and the game was still scoreless when the Astros loaded the bases in the bottom of the 11th.
Swung on and a line shot into right center field. Thomas on the run. Can't get it. Astros win.
But even on the verge of elimination, the Dodgers still felt they had a chance.
We were coming home, so we played in front of our home fans. And regardless of the situation, we were 2 down or whatever, it didn't really matter because we felt confident. We always felt confident.
And their confidence was bolstered in an easy 6-1 win in Game 3. Then, the next day, Valenzuela went the distance in another terrific outing. And suddenly, the series was tied.
We were down 2-0, but the guys were really confident that they could come back here in our park. Thank God we're able to go into that 5th game.
And in Game 5, the Dodgers finished their comeback behind Jerry Royce in a game that finished with a dramatic flourish.
He's not running. He's not running to first. Now he's running. The throw is just barely in time. And the Dodgers win the final score 4-0.
The Dodgers were in the NLCS for the 3rd time in 5 years. In the AL West Division Series, the Royals, a sub-500 team overall in '81, were dominated by A's pitching from start to finish.
Ground ball to the first baseman. Spencer's got it. Underhands to Norris, and this game is over as Norris allows only 4 singles and shuts out the Royals 4-0.
The A's pitching was excellent, and the Royals could just never get anything going offensively.
Fastball struck him out, swing. Beard has struck him out to end the ballgame, and the A's dug out erupt.
While the A's swept away the West, the Yankees looked to do the same in the East against the team making its franchise postseason debut, the Brewers.
We thought we had a pretty good chance in '81 to beat them, and they came to Milwaukee and they beat us the first 2 games, and it looked pretty bad for us.
So we have a 2-0 lead coming back to Yankee Stadium, and all we have to do is win 1 ball game. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves.
But in the 8th inning of Game 3, with the score tied at 3, Paul Molitor changed the series with 1 swing of the bat.
Well hit to left. Molitor. Homers to left at about 380 feet, and the Brewers are back on top 4-3.
We had our suitcases packed, ready to go, and we had to go back to the hotel, and we won the game.
And the next day, Fingers was called in to protect a 2-1 lead in the 9th inning of Game 4.
2 outs. The tying run is at third. Now it's down to Fingers and Cerrone.
The guy threw him 4 straight fastballs. He was right on him, and he fouled him back.
Cerrone got a piece of it, fouled it back, and stays alive.
Got to the next pitch, and Ted Simmons stuck down slider. And I said, okay, let's try a slider.
He struck him out, and there will be another game tomorrow as the Brewers tie this series 2 wins apiece.
The Brewers had drawn the series even. 1 game would decide who was moving on, which certainly didn't please the Yankees' boss afterwards in the clubhouse.
I had struck out to end the game. Next thing you know, he's ranting and raving, and I thought he was talking about me. And I confronted him.
Which was a shocking event in itself because whoever talked back to the boss.